Hello all my beautiful sisters from those other misters. Today I am doing some more Christmas release reviews, I suppose. Today I have Bare Minerals. There we go. I've got the You Better Not Pout 7-piece Marvelous Moxie miniature lipstick collection, and we have the Wishlist eyeshadow palette. This is a 12-pan eyeshadow palette. Now I picked these both up at Mecca Maxima stores. The Better Not Pout set retails for 44 Australian dollars and the Wishlist palette retails for 66 Australian dollars. So I'm going to start with the You Better Not Pout mini lipstick set. Now in this set you get, I'm going to put that down because I've got a lot of flashback off it. You get 7 mini lipsticks. Each lipstick contains 1.5 grams of product. The lipsticks in this range go from like super pale shimmery nude all the way up to sort of a deep red, and there's like nudes in between, there's corals, there's a really interesting shade with, which one was it? I think it's Watch Me, which is like this, it's kind of like a coral orangey pink, but then it's got this sort of like pink shift to it. It's very interesting, but I will be doing lip swatches so you guys can see these along with arm swatches. My opinion of this is that the Marvelous Moxie lipsticks, the formula is exactly what you will find in a standard full-size Marvelous Moxie lipstick. So if you like that formula, that's what you've got here. I think the biggest issue for buying this particular range for people is going to be if the colors are your cup of tea. Looking at them in the box, so when you look at this dude, they look nice. They look like the type of lipsticks I would wear. However, when I opened it, some of the shades weren't exactly what I expected them to be. So if you can swatch these in store before you purchase, I would definitely recommend that. Now, if you know for sure that you love the shades, I need to tell you about the value. So this set retails for 44 Australian dollars and you get how much? 10.7 grams of product across the whole set. Now, a full-size Marvelous Moxie lipstick is, I've got my notes, $26, and you get 3.5 grams of product inside a full-size lipstick. It works out to $7.42 per gram of product in a full-size lipstick. When we break this one down, it has $77.91 of value for 44 Australian dollars. You're only paying $4.23 per gram of lipstick, not per lipstick, per gram. So good value, definitely good value. Now, if you're not familiar with the Marvelous Moxie lipstick formula, it is very creamy, it's quite hydrating. They do not dry matte. 2 of the shades in this particular set are the frosty finish and 5 of them are the cream finish. Now, the formula doesn't last super duper long. These are just normal, traditional, old school lipsticks. So they've got a nice creamy formula, they don't dry matte, they're lipsticks. If you eat or drink, they're going to wear away, just like any traditional lipstick. Some of the shades do tint the lips a little bit as you wear them, so when they wear away quite evenly and your lips underneath still have a little bit of a tint to them, but they're not long wearing lipsticks or anything like that. If you like traditional lipsticks and you want a nice creamy formula that is comfortable to wear, very pigmented and hydrating, these are great little lipsticks. Alright, let's move on to arm swatches and then lip swatches of these lipsticks, and I'm going to get on to the palette. On to the wish list. So this is just one of their holiday palette releases for 2016. This particular palette contains only eyeshadows, no face powders. There are, actually, I won't talk about the shades yet. Let's talk about the packaging. The packaging is gorgeous. This is the first Bare Minerals palette that I have seen that has this like hard packaging. Usually their large eyeshadow palettes are cardboard, like a sturdy cardboard. And this is the first one that I've personally seen. There might actually be some out there. This is the first one I've seen with like a hard plastic. It is a very big palette, and I'm blinding you, I'm sorry guys. It has these sort of golden like starburst type things on the front. When you open it up, it's got strong, very strong magnetic closure. There is a huge mirror in there, and then you have 12 eyeshadows. When I first saw photos of this palette, when Kat and I were, you know, doing beauty news, and it popped up as a release for this holiday season, I felt like it looked very plum and red toned and mauvey, and I was so excited for it. So when this was released in Australia and I went to Mecca Maxima to pick it up, I discovered that they only had 2 palettes available. And when I opened it, I felt like it wasn't quite what the pictures said it was. It wasn't as like plum or red or mauvey toned, which I was disappointed about. But I love Bare Minerals eyeshadows. I always buy a palette when they release them. So I actually picked up both palettes that they had. One's for a giveaway. Now, when I was playing around with this palette, that's when I was kind of like, maybe this isn't, something is different. Something is different. The formula of these eyeshadows, the metallics, so like this one here, these 2 here, these are typical Bare Minerals metallic formula. It's beautiful, richly pigmented. They're like, they're a dream. They're gorgeous, gorgeous eyeshadows. Then they have like their satin finishes, which is this one up here. And I think, is that it? Yes, just that one there. It's the same. It's Bare Minerals to a T. Then they have a more, it's kind of like a matte and sparkle formula. So that's this one down here and these 2 over here on the end. They're quite nice too. They are typical Bare Minerals, like soft, very pigmented. I need a tissue. They're great. The mattes, however, I feel like the mattes are fine up here. These mattes are great. This one down here is gorgeous. But these 2 down here, they feel really dry. They're really, when I swatch them, they do not feel silky soft like the other mattes do. They have this sort of like dry, chalky feeling to them. They're very pigmented, like there's no issue with that. They don't swatch particularly well, but they do perform nicely. So I'm not sure what's going on with that. It could just be like the actual colors, like the pigment color in the eyeshadow affected the formula. I don't know. I didn't manufacture it. But that kind of surprised me. And I feel like I need to mention it because I always rave about how amazing Bare Minerals eyeshadows are and how you guys should always buy their palettes. So I feel like it's particularly important for me to be like, something's different. Something weird's going on with those two. But overall, I do like the palette. It is not as red and plum and mauvey as I thought it would be. It is very nude, very brown. There's a shade up here, Stiletto. This looks like, it looks red. Let's see if I can get that to, I hope that looks red to you guys, because to me it's like this burgundy, gorgeous matte color with gold sparkle in it. And when I put it on, it's brown. It is chocolate brown. So some of the colors do not translate on the eye in the same way that they look in the pan. That I definitely do not like. And it kind of makes it makes it difficult to create a look easily and with confidence. Usually with Bare Minerals eyeshadows, what you see is what you get. So you see it in the pan, you put it on your eye, that's exactly what you're going to get. Not so much the case with this palette, which is a shame. So, you know, that's a thing. The shade range in the palette is quite nice. We've got some very light sort of highlighting shades and even a shade that could be used as a super soft transition. We've got a satin up here with Merry. This is kind of like pinky white toned. You've got Chance. I'm sorry if I'm blinding you guys. This palette is not easy to film. We've got Chance, which is kind of like a matte with a little bit of sparkle in it. It's a nice cream color. Again, great, really subtle highlight. Daydream is kind of like a taupey yellow, if that makes sense. It would make a really nice sort of subtle natural transition shade. Then we've got sort of mid-toned like lid colors and even transition colors. We've got three metallics with Bubble, which is a gorgeous like sort of golden pink shade. I've got it on my lid today. We've got Bling, which is sort of a taupey grey. And then we've got Gold Leaf, which is just a beautiful like gold color. Great for the Christmas season. I will actually say this just while it's in my head. This is a nice sort of natural, pretty Christmas holiday season palette. So if you're into natural makeup but you like a little bit of sparkle, it's a good palette for that. Sort of transition-y shades or even matte lid shades. You've got Come True, which is kind of like a dark cream, if that makes sense. It's got a little bit of a brown tinge to it, but it's also a creamy color. We've got Granted, which is stunning. It's like a smoky peach almost. Then we've got sort of crease colors. So these two up here, Yes Please on this side, and Stiletto over here. They're both mattes with a sparkle finish. Yes Please is just like brown. It's brown. And Stiletto, while it looks very mauve and plummy, it's brown. It's very brown. Then we've got two mattes down here. We've got Good Spirits on this side and Boardroom on this side. I will say Good Spirits looks to be sort of like a reddy brown as well, but it just doesn't come off that way. And Boardroom is like a really dark chocolate brown. Okay, my hand is getting sore holding this up, so I'm going to put it down. I do like the palette. The eyeshadows work beautifully. They're all very pigmented. They blend easily with a brush. While some of the mattes don't swatch well at all, they perform completely differently when you're using an actual eyeshadow brush. So I still like the formula of the eyeshadows, but I do think that perhaps something with manufacture is not what it usually is with this particular palette. So there's that. I'm going to move on to arm swatches of that palette, and then I'm going to finish up with my final thoughts.
Learn to discern is what you say when in my fury I I turn away. Show me your sign, water and wine. I need you to be more than a poison me. Show me your face, or at least some proof of your grace. Need you to be more than a light in me, at least today. Hold me closer in my pain, but you of course did all the same. Why don't you practice?
Alright, final thoughts. Let's start with the You Better Not Pout Marvelous Moxie 7-piece miniature lipstick collection. I like this particular little collection. My only grievance with this in particular is some of the shades aren't great, and I do think that Bare Minerals could have chosen some more universally flattering shades and finishes, but that's totally personal preference. Not everyone is going to agree with that. There are going to be people who hate every single shade. There are going to be people who love every single shade. So if you look at these shades and you think, I love those shades, I know that I can wear them, go for it. Like, it's a great set, it's good value, the formula is beautiful, and the packaging is quite good as well. Kat and I have talked a few times about like miniature lipsticks breaking at the base of the barrel. I've never had that happen with a Marvelous Moxie Mini, and I've had quite a few, so you know, that's a good thing. If you are not familiar with the Marvelous Moxie formula, but you think that a mini set might be a nice way to get to know it, I would definitely go for it. If you like the colours, it's definitely worth picking up. Alright, and now for the palette. Oh gosh, I don't know guys. I think I like the palette. It's a good palette. The colours are very pigmented, they blend easily, they apply beautifully, blah 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 blah. You get it. I like that. I think the one thing that basically pissed me off about this palette is when I saw the photos of it, it looked very plummy, mauvey, reddish, like it was on that spectrum. It kind of gave me modern Renaissance vibes in the fact that it was pushing towards those burnt colours. But then when I saw it in person, I was like, it's not. It's a nude palette. And recently they brought out 2 nude palettes, so I don't feel like we needed another one like this. While we're talking about the shades being similar to the one in the palette that they brought out earlier this year, I figure I better be a good blogger or a good beauty YouTuber and actually show you. So the one on top is the one brought out earlier this year, it's the Nudes palette, and the one on the bottom is the Holiday palette. So you can see that they are different, but they are also very similar. And in my opinion, bringing out 2 nude palettes this similar, so close together, is just not, I don't understand why they would do that, because you know, there's people like me who love the brand, love the eyeshadows, and is a little bit palette crazy, so I buy them anyway. But a lot of people will be turned off, because if you brought this one earlier this year, why would you then go and buy this one if you're not a makeup junkie? It's not going to like inspire people to buy it because it's basically the same. I do feel like there was a little bit of a missed opportunity to bring out a super on-trend palette with this one, but it's very brown. Alright guys, so that's it for me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. There will be a related blog post for both the items you saw in this video, link down below in the description box, and until next time, thank you so much for watching guys. Bye.